Ryan here, and today I'm going to be talking about Shadowhunters Season 2. So we got given a teaser trailer and 2 clips. First clip was Clary and Izzy training, and the second clip was Maris saying that there was a new head of the Institute and what they were going to do to try and find Jace after he has left them to go with Valentine. And I've had a couple of people ask me to discuss my thoughts on season 2 because I was tweeting about it. So if you do not know, Shadowhunters is a TV show based on the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. The Mortal Instruments series is one of my favourite book series of all time. If Harry Potter is here, the Mortal Instruments is here. It's sort of, they're on par with each other for how much I love the worlds and how much I love staying in those worlds and how big they are and how much they've impacted me. I love this series so much, and there's so much going on. And in 2013 there was a film, it didn't do very well, so they never made any more films. At the start of this year, season 1 of the Netflix and ABC original show Shadowhunters was released, which is an adaptation of the series, and this season 1 had 13 episodes and it has been renewed as season 2. It's due to air on the 2nd of January and season 2 is going to have 22 episodes, I believe, so a lot bigger. It did very, very well and lots of people really enjoyed it. I thought it was okay. If you saw my weekly reviews of the show that I did, I'll link the playlist to those down below. There was lots of things that they did that was very different to the books. I know that adaptations are not always the same, but it was so different, and they just added new characters, and it just wasn't sort of the script writing, you know, it just didn't sort of, wasn't my favourite thing. But as it got to the end of the season, I really started to enjoy it a lot more, and episode 13 was really good. So I was really sad that it ended on such a cliffhanger and that it had ended, because I really enjoyed season 13 and I thought loads of things like rapidly improved in those last couple of episodes. So I will be watching season 2 and I am looking forward to it. I'm very excited for it. After watching the promos, I think it does look a lot better. I'll talk about the trailer first. We got a quick sneak peek trailer at New York Comic Con, which looks really good. It seems like we're going to get to see more of the characters in more of a sort of different light and more in depth. I'm really looking forward to the fact that they've added Clary and Jocelyn having those kind of disagreements and Clary coming to terms with the fact of what her mum has hidden from her all of this time, because I think that's really important. And at the end of season 1, when they just kind of sort of hugged it out, I was like, you're supposed to be really mad. Like, I would be really mad, but it's really good to sort of see that. Not that I'm happy about them fighting, but like, it would definitely be something, and it's definitely something that Clary has to work through, and her life has changed in such a short period of time that that's definitely going to be this. So I'm glad that they're going to explore that and explore how Clary is feeling about it. The action looks a lot better. They're still doing that weird slow-mo-y thing when they fight, which I don't know why that's necessary, and the CGI still isn't fantastic, but that doesn't matter, you know, as long as it's done well, to the best that they can do, that's fine. The acting looks a lot better. It feels like the actors are a lot more comfortable with the characters that they're playing and they understand them a bit more. I feel like what it was with season 1 is that they were kind of sort of trying to get to grips with their characters and what their characters would do, and I feel like that's really sort of settled now and they really understand these characters, and I definitely think that comes across when you're watching, when I was watching the bonus scenes and watching the trailers. Apparently Izzy's whip can turn into a staff. That's a new development. I thought that it was a bracelet that turned into a whip, but you know, multiple function snake. We see Lydia. Lydia is back, you know, she's cool and everything, but she's just not a character that's in the books. It's kind of really weird to have her like be such a crucial part when actually she shouldn't. Her name wouldn't even be Lydia Bramwell. Like, it would be Fairchild. I think they're adding new characters as well. The new head of the Institute, which doesn't really make sense. I don't know why they've got a new head of the Institute. I don't know why the Lightwoods have been, you know, I don't understand that, why they're sort of adding these new characters when they don't need them to be there. Like, if you need a new head of the Institute, at least make it be Lydia or something. Like, why do you need to add new characters in? It doesn't, you don't need, I don't know why they're necessary. But there is a new head of the Institute, Vector Aldertree. I don't know how I feel about him. I'll have more of an opinion on him when I see the episodes and start watching the season. The one thing that kind of was sort of really annoying in this is them saying we are at war and one of our owners left us. I was like, Jace didn't have a choice. Like, Jace has not willingly gone with Valentine because he thinks Valentine is right. We can see in the trailers that he is being treated awfully. It is sort of explored in the books that Jace is a bit, that they should sort of be wary of him because he's Valentine's son, but this seems like it's massively extreme and that they're gonna like banish him from the Shadowhunter realm because apparently he is evil and has willingly gone with Valentine and wants to kill everyone. I feel like what they're doing with this show is just sort of bringing everything from all of the later books straight forward now, and they're sort of just jumping straight into them and not exploring them in as much detail as they could go into. I feel like with the books it's kind of like a slow burn, but a good slow burn, because it really sort of explains what's going on and it ties everything together well. When I feel like with the show, it's sort of like, I know it's because it's an adaptation and they have to do that, and I completely understand, but I feel like they're bringing everything forward really, really quickly and just sort of like getting it all out. Like, Simon is a vampire already, but like, I really, really like Simon, and I really, really like Alberto Rosende, who plays him, and I think that he actually plays him fantastically, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Vampire Simon. It just feels really, really early on. It could have been explored a bit more, and he could have been going through those struggles a lot more throughout season 2. This is spoilery if you haven't read them and you don't know what happens, so I'll go like this when I stop spoilering. There's a quote from Jocelyn in the trailer where she says, "Your brother would only leave death and destruction," and you're supposed to think that she's talking about Jace because she's talking to Clary, even though the Shadowhunters Twitter still really promoting Clace, which is fine, but like, they're trying to sort of be like their brother and sister, but they're making it really obvious that that's not the case. Like, social media is making it really obvious that Clary and Jace are not actually related. Like, they have been doing that since the season finale, and it's really annoying because they're really not keeping the secret. They're doing like polls instead of like, who do you prefer, Malik or Clace? And it's like, you're essentially promoting, like, people think they're brother and sister and you're promoting it. It's really weird that they're doing it. They should have just sort of kept it and kept the suspense going, because if they did do that, it would be really good. Like in the trailer when she's like, "Your brother only leaves death and destruction," you would think it was Jace, because obviously you assume that's who she's talking about because he's Clara's brother, and you would assume that was the case. I think that that's going to be Sebastian, and that at the end, hopefully at the end, I really hope he doesn't come into it earlier than that. Hopefully at the end of season 2 we're going to see more of him and that he's going to come into play. I reckon he could be a really good season finale. The whole death and destruction thing, like, Jace wouldn't do that and Jocelyn wouldn't be referring to Jace as Clara's brother, so I think that that's really, like, I think that was really interesting. Like, I quite liked that. I quite liked that they added that, and I feel like that's something that's sort of going to leave people hanging, and I thought that's really clever, because that's for people that know, but for people that don't, like, oh my god, that's Jace and Jace is evil, and I think it's really good. We also see a snippet of Maya. She looks brilliant. I'm really, really, really happy with that. She looks fantastic. The scene, like the little clips that we saw, looked so good. I'm so excited to see more of the characters, more of the werewolves, and more of the stuff that's going on. Like, I'm really, really, really looking forward to that. It was just really good. I'm really happy with that. I'm so excited to see how she plays into season 2. I wonder if we'll see more of Maureen. Like, she vanished for a bit and then, yeah, so hopefully, you know, we might see more of her. She plays a part in the books, so maybe. So yeah, the clips that we saw Clary and Izzy training, I really feel like Clary is sort of coming into her Shadowhunterness in this season, and I feel like that really came across in the scenes and in the trailer, which I'm looking forward to seeing, and seeing more of Clary fighting. We also had some Malik stuff. I feel like there's going to be a lot of tension between them in this season, and I feel like sort of the issues that they have later on in the books are going to sort of come to fruition sort of a lot earlier, and there's going to be Camille, and there's going to be lots of things going on, but I'm hoping that they do it well. I feel like Matt Daddario and Harry Shum Jr. really, really understand their characters and really, really understand, like, Magnus and Alec, and sort of try and bring the qualities of them from the book and how they feel about things from the book to life. And when I was watching season 1, Matthew Daddario was my favourite character. I think that he was brilliant. He really, really understands Alec, and I like the way he did it. I think it was the writing in season 1 that I didn't like with Magnus and Alec, but I feel like the acting was brilliant and they really, really understand that. I like the pictures that we've seen. They look really good. They've got really good chemistry together, and it really, really works. So I am looking forward to seeing them together more. I'm looking forward to seeing more of Malik and seeing how that story unfolds. I feel like they'll be really good. I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to seeing how more of the relationships between the characters, and not necessarily romantic relationships, but just sort of relationships. Robert Lightwood has gone back to Idris, apparently. Alec and Maris, we're going to see their relationship. They interact a couple of times in the trailers. There's Jace is more than blood and he's closer than blood. They're really sort of standing by him, and I think it is going to sort of have those same vibes of Izzy, of Alec and Magnus and Simon sort of really sticking by Jace and trying to do their best to help him, which I think is good, and I like that they're keeping that in and they're not turning against him either. Overall, I am really looking forward to it. Obviously there are things that you can pick out and say that's different from the books, and that's, you know, they're not doing this and they've added this, and they have done, and they have sort of really taken liberties with it and changed quite a lot of things, but I'm just going to sort of accept that that's what it's going to be now, and it's just going to be a loose adaptation based on the books, but their own take on it, and it's not going to be something which is going to be stick to the book completely accurate. I think I went into season 1 thinking it was going to be perfect. Going into season 2, I'm not going to think it's going to be the perfect adaptation, so I'm just going to really enjoy it for what it is and like what it brings, and I'm going to try and in the reviews not make as many sort of comparisons unless they're like stupidly obvious. Like Simon is not allowed in the Institute. I'm not going to do that as much. I'm just going to talk about like the acting and the writing and like how it all comes together and if the story makes sense on its own regardless of the book. And I am really looking forward to it. Like I said, it looks so much better. It looks like they've really come back to in season 2 with a big bang, and they've really sort of upped the games, everything. Like I said, the acting and the writing and just the sort of the whole like the action and everything that's going on. I feel like there's a really good mix of everything, and that you to be able to see that from the trailer, I'm really optimistic, and I am really looking forward to seeing season 2. So yes, let me know your thoughts on Shadowhunters season 2. Have you seen the clips of the trailers? What are you thinking? What are you looking forward to? What are you not looking forward to? Let me know down below and we can discuss it. It's been a while since we've had a Shadowhuntery chat. Shadowhuntery chat, and I've missed it. If you are new here, I make bookish videos a couple of times a week, so if you would like to stick around and join us, then you can do that. And as usual, all of my links will be in the description below, so if you would like to come hang out with me on other social medias, then you can do that as well. Thank you guys for watching. I hope we're doing really well, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.